imagine you're looking at a wedding photo, right? Like 50 years from now.
Okay.
And the lighting is it's absolutely perfect. The emotion on the faces is raw. The tear is falling just right.
Let me guess.
Yeah, your eye is completely hopelessly distracted by this jagged, chipped thumbnail gripping the bridal bouquet.
Oh, it's the worst. It really is.
It's just wild how that happens. But today is Sunday, May 17, 2026. And to prevent that exact microscopic disaster, brides are essentially turning their hands into, like, chemical battlegrounds.
That is a very accurate way to put it, honestly.
Welcome to today's deep dive. We are sorting through a massive stack of notes from a comprehensive 2026 bridal beauty guide. It's got all these insights from platforms like Weddizer.
Right.
And our mission today is to extract the ultimate shortcut to understanding one of the biggest and frankly most surprisingly complex beauty decisions you'll have to make this year.
Which is, of course, choosing between gel and non-toxic nail polish for those high-stakes wedding photos.
Exactly. Okay, let's unpack this.
Yeah.
Because choosing a bridal manicure right now is basically like selecting armor for your hands.
Yes.
Like, you need this armor to look absolutely stunning, but it also has to survive a grueling marathon of events without showing a single dent.
It really does. And I mean, it sounds like such a trivial detail from the outside, doesn't it? Like, just pick a color and be done with it.
Right, just paint them and go.
But when you start to pull apart the data and the behavioral trends we're seeing, this single decision perfectly captures this massive collision of modern technology, chemical durability, and the sweeping cultural pivot toward clean beauty that we're seeing in 2026.
It's so much deeper than I thought.
It really is. And the fact that you, the listener, are curious about this shows you recognize there's a lot more going on beneath the surface of a simple manicure.
Yeah, before we even debate which polish to use, we really need to understand why the stakes are so incredibly high for nails in 2026 wedding photography.
Absolutely. The photography is the driving force here.
I was looking through the source material, and the sheer volume of intimate detail shots where hands take center stage is just nuts.
They're everywhere.
Right. You've got the ring exchanges at the altar, the extreme close-ups of the bouquet.
Where your fingers are literally wrapped right around the stems.
Exactly. Then the champagne toasts, the bridal prep shots of you fastening jewelry, and all those candid couple portraits holding hands.
And you have to consider the optical technology being used to capture those moments today.
Like the lenses themselves.
Yeah, in 2026, we aren't just dealing with high definition anymore. We're dealing with 8K resolution and these highly specialized macro lenses that are just entirely unforgiving.
Unforgiving is a good word for it.
A macro lens doesn't just capture the hand. It captures the microscopic texture of the cuticle.
Oh, wow.
The exact way light refracts off the curve of the nail bed. And, of course, any infinitesimal fracture in the polish. Every millimeter is documented.
Okay, but this brings me to a bit of pushback, I have to admit.
Sure, let's hear it.
Is this really a make-or-break detail, or are we just obsessed with microscopic perfection in 2026 because the tech lets us be?
That's a fair question.
I keep thinking of the manicure as, like, the supporting actor in a movie scene. The ring, the tear, that's the lead actor.
Right.
If the supporting actor just stands there, looks nice, nobody notices them. But if they forget their lines or look chipped and visually chaotic, they completely steal focus from the lead.
They ruin the scene.
Exactly.
Well, if we connect this to the bigger picture, that instinct you have about the supporting actor stealing the scene is the exact psychology at play here.
Oh, really?
Yeah, a flawless manicure in these extreme close-ups isn't driven by vanity. It's fundamentally an exercise in timelessness.
Timelessness, I like that.
Because that high-definition photography captures everything so permanently. The images become a historical record for your family.
Yeah, chipped nails sitting on a mantle for 50 years is just permanent visual static.
Exactly. The entire goal is to eliminate that visual static, so the emotion of the moment is what actually endures.
Okay, so if the goal is to guarantee zero visual static, it makes sense that brides gravitate toward the most bulletproof option.
Which brings us to the heavyweight champion.
Yes, gel polish.
Gel is the industry standard for durability because it fundamentally changes the state of material on your hand.
Right.
Unlike traditional polish that just, relies on solvents evaporating into the egg.
Like air drying.
Right, air drying. Gel polish actually undergoes a forced chemical reaction. It uses photoinitiators.
Photoinitiators?
Yeah, there are compounds that react intensely when exposed to specific wavelengths of UV or LED light.
So you aren't just waiting for it to dry, you're actually baking it onto your hands.
Baking is a good way to visualize it, but chemically, you're curing it. The light hits those photoinitiators, which instantly triggers the molecules to cross-link and bond.
So it turns into plastic.
Essentially, yes. In seconds, it transforms from a liquid into a rigid, highly durable plastic polymer shell attached directly to the natural nail.
And the pros of this are massive. The guide points out it gives you up to 3 weeks of absolute chip resistance.
3 weeks, huge.
It is. Plus, you get this high-gloss finish that looks incredibly luxurious on camera. And crucially, it survives multi-day events.
Because modern weddings are marathons.
Right? You've got bridal showers, Mendy functions, rehearsal dinners, the wedding day, and then hauling luggage for the honeymoon.
Gel laughs at all of that.
Yeah. And because it's a plastic canvas, it's perfect for those intricate 2026 art trends. Chrome powders, pearl finishes, 3D floral designs.
It functions flawlessly as a protective shield. But, and this is a big but, the mechanics that make it indestructible are the exact same mechanics that create a severe physical consequence.
The dark side of gel.
Right. The drawbacks are driving a massive counter movement. First, you have the necessary UV or LED exposure.
Which health-conscious brides hate.
Exactly. And then you have the potential weakening of the natural nail bed from that cross-linking process.
And the aftermath. I mean, I am stuck on the idea of taking this stuff off. It really reminds me of automotive paint.
That's a great analogy.
Right. It gives you this pristine, indestructible finish, like a luxury sports car. But taking it off requires serious industrial effort.
You definitely can't just wipe it away.
No, you're soaking your fingertips in pure acetone for 15 minutes to break those bonds, or a tech is aggressively filing the plastic down to your nail.
And what's fascinating here is it's a highly calculated transaction. Yeah. Brides choosing gel are making a conscious biological trade. They are exchanging the physiological health of their natural nail post-wedding for the absolute guarantee of zero maintenance perfection during the wedding week.
Wow.
They look at the 8K cameras, look at their itinerary, and decide dealing with a brittle nail on the honeymoon is an acceptable price to pay for flawless photos today.
I mean, I get the logic for a one-off event, but I keep coming back to the removal process.
It's harsh.
It's so harsh. I can't imagine someone who meticulously checks ingredients in their organic groceries, suddenly agreeing to soak their fingers in industrial solvent just for photos.
Well, there is a breaking point.
Right. Someone has to say, no, the physical cost of this armor is just too high.
And that breaking point is exactly what birthed the 2026 alternative. When a consumer refuses to make that biological trade, they turn to the clean beauty challenger, non-toxic nail polish.
Okay, yes. The terminology in the Weddizer guide is super specific here. We're seeing formulas marketed as 5 free, 10 free, or the new gold standard, 21 free.
Right. And to understand what that means, we have to look at what traditional polishes rely on.
The bad stuff.
Historically, yes. A cocktail of plasticizers like triphenyl phosphate and harsh solvents like toluene or formaldehyde.
Formaldehyde. Yikes.
But functionally, they kept the polish flexible so it wouldn't shatter and helped it adhere to the nail. So a 21-free formula means the manufacturer has actively stripped out up to 21 of these known toxins and endocrine disruptors.
So they're pulling out the exact ingredients that make the polish perform like armor.
Yes.
But the benefits align with a wellness lifestyle. The sources note they are gentler on natural nails, highly eco-friendly like vegan, and cruelty-free, and great for brides with allergies.
Aesthetically, they create a very soft, natural, romantic look, too.
Right. Milky whites, soft nudes.
But because they lack those industrial plasticizers, the drawbacks are severe compared to gel.
Shorter wear time.
Much shorter. High risk of chipping upon impact, less of an ultra-glossy finish, and pragmatically, you're going to need touch-ups right before photos.
Okay, here's where it gets really interesting. If a bride is hosting a multi-day event, like a Friday Mendy, a Saturday Sangeet, and a Sunday ceremony.
Oh, that's a gauntlet for non-toxic polish.
Right. Relying on a chip-prone polish feels like asking for a photography disaster. Heavy fabrics, constant handshaking. Isn't choosing non-toxic basically terrible planning?
From a pure risk management standpoint, yeah, it introduces a chaotic variable, but we have to look at what this choice represents. It highlights a massive cultural shift in 2026. A bride choosing a 21 free polish for a 3-day event isn't ignorant of the fact that it might chip. She's accepting it.
Wait, really? So the chip nail isn't seen as a failure?
Not to this demographic. They're increasingly willing to risk the visual flaw or do emergency touch-ups because their core values prioritize bodily wellness and environmental sustainability over absolute convenience.
That is a huge paradigm shift.
It is. The pristine visual aesthetic isn't the sole priority anymore. They're rejecting the automotive paint approach to their bodies, even under the pressure of 8K cameras.
Wow. Okay, since both options have such distinct pros and cons, how does a person actually make the final call?
It requires a synthesis of fashion and environmental foresight, a calculated strategy.
Yeah, the source material says you don't just guess. Let's look at the actual visual trends dominating 2026.
Let's do it.
On the gel side, the trends are bold. Glazed donut chrome, milky white, champagne shimmer, French ombre.
Notice the commonality there. Those are high-impact, heavily light-reflective finishes. Because gel is a polymer, it holds metallic powders perfectly.
Right, they demand attention. And on the non-toxic side, the trends are quieter. Neutral beige, sheer pink, dusty rose, cream ivory.
The colors are intentionally subdued to match the wellness philosophy behind them.
It reminds me of wine pairing.
Yeah.
You wouldn't pair a highly reflective, glossy, glazed donut chrome nail with a deeply traditional, minimalist lace gown.
It would clash terribly.
Exactly. Minimalist gowns pair perfectly with soft, nude, non-toxic nails. But a glamorous, heavy satin dress that demands the glossy, armor-like gel finish so your hands visually hold their own.
This raises an important question, though. You have to think scientifically about your environment.
The lighting. Yes.
How will the physical lighting of your venue interact with the chemical makeup of your polish?
Oh, because light behaves differently on plastic versus natural resin.
Exactly. Imagine an indoor evening reception with harsh camera flashes. That flash bounces cleanly off a gel polymer. It looks spectacular.
Sharp and glossy.
Right. But if that same flash hits a sheer, milky, non-toxic polish, the white base can overexpose.
So it turns into a glowing white blob on camera.
Yes. Conversely, during a golden hour sunset, a dusty rose non-toxic polish looks rich and romantic, but a harsh chrome gel might just look gray and flat under that soft light.
So you really can't leave this to chance. The prep tips from the notes are absolute gold here.
They're essential.
First, they say book appointments 1 to 2 days before the wedding, maximum.
You want that structural freshness.
Second, and this blew my mind, moisturize your hands religiously in the weeks before the day.
There's a biological reason for that.
The guide says it dramatically improves ring shots.
Yeah, micro wrinkles on dry knuckles catch tiny shadows under harsh flash. When you hydrate, you plump the dermal cells. Plump skin acts as a natural optical diffuser, smoothing shadows out.
That is just incredible. Hydration is an optical diffuser.
It really works.
And the third tip is to test colors in advance. Do a trial run in the actual venue lighting, or take photos in a dark room with your phone flash on.
Don't guess how the light is going to bounce. Arrive on the morning of the event with absolute certainty.
So what does this all mean? Let's bring this all together for you. If durability, multi-day survival, and a high-gloss shine are paramount to your peace of mind,
Then gel polish is the undisputed winner. You accept the harsh removal process to guarantee the aesthetic today.
exactly. But if clean ingredients, sustainability, and a softer aesthetic align better with your values, and you genuinely don't mind the anxiety of a little touch-up, then non-toxic polish is the elegant answer.
Absolutely.
Whether you are actively planning a wedding, helping a friend, or just fascinated by how deeply we strategize beauty in 2026, this proves that every tiny detail we wear is a reflection of our priorities.
It is a mirror of what we value most when the pressure is highest. And, looking at the data leaves me with a final lingering question.
I'd love to hear it.
We are seeing this trend where brides hunt down 21 free formulas to meticulously protect their bodily wellness for a single day. If we are becoming this hyper-aware of microtoxins hidden inside our celebratory beauty routines, how might this intense focus on absolute purity eventually reshape the rest of our mundane daily habits long after the wedding cameras stop flashing?
Wow, that is a phenomenal question to chew on. Does the hypervigilant wedding standard eventually just become our everyday standard?
It's very possible.
Well, keep questioning the world around you, keep looking closely at the details, even the ones right at your fingertips, and we will catch you on the next deep dive.